Hola! How are you doing? Okay, yay. I am so stoked to talk about this new moon and Aries reading for you all that's happening tomorrow. But I'm late on this, so it's so completely activated right now as we speak. So I'm really excited to amp and charge you up with what this really means and what's going to be happening because of it in your life. But anyway, so I wanted to start first with talking about something that is personal based, even though I told you guys I was not going to do the personal things anymore, right? You know I'm going to break all my rules like 10 times and then I'll stop. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about this because it's huge. And so remember, if you've been watching, it was several videos ago, I was having all this tooth pain and I was not having it at all. And then all of a sudden I was having horrible tooth pain where it felt like the whole top 3 teeth, something was up with them. And so anyway, I told you about that. And then I got into the dentist. And it took like a week and a half to get in, and by that time, like 2 days before the visit, I didn't have any pain at all. And so anyway, but I got in there anyway, and the moment he was in my mouth, he was like, well, after the x-rays, he was like, you need to get that out of there. And I was like, what are you talking about? So basically, I'm going to be doing a whole video on this because I feel so passionate about it, and I feel like I'm an activist about this now. But so basically what had happened back in 1999, I can't remember if it's 98 or 99, I get confused now, maybe it was 1999, but I had a vision that my father was going to die, and I was living in San Francisco, so I had decided to leave in 2 months to go back and get to know him because I didn't have him in my life growing up. And basically I'd been getting this dental work done at that time, and this woman had wanted to redo a root canal, which I know you don't ever get those, but I was like a teenager and it was just done. But so she wanted to redo this root canal because she said it was bad and put a new crown on. And basically what I didn't know was that 15 years ago this dentist put mercury in that whole root canal, so all the way down to the roots, and then the whole molar was full of mercury, and then it was crowned and called it a day, and no dentist has ever brought it up again. But I knew to get out mercury in the early 90s. I remember where I lived, all the dentists were like, get that out, it's poison. And so basically this woman put mercury in there, and what I can tell you is that within months I got these liver lines on my eyes. Within months, I was borderline diabetic. Within months, I had borderline liver problems, thyroid problems, candida, and I got gluten intolerance. And and I was also getting migraines like almost 5 times a week. And the thing is that it happened right at my Saturn return. I was 28. I was like, I had the vision that my father was going to die, and I went back to Illinois to get to know him. So all these things, I just thought that was Saturn return. All these illnesses, how my health just plummeted, where I was so healthy and I was so vibrant and I was so myself, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. And that whole time too, I always said that I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself. It's like it was this dead end song that I was constantly saying to everybody. I just don't feel weird. I went from being so exuberant and out there and loving being seen, loving being around people, loving socializing, loving everything that put me out in the world on a stage, loving it more than anything, like feeling like I can't remember the last time wasn't smiling and having a blast with my life. And then all of a sudden, boom, like that, everything changed to 180. And so for the past 15 years, I have seen every doctor. I have gone to such great measures. I have tried everything to kind of try to get my health back. But I never felt like myself ever again. And if you're somebody close in my life, you know I'm always saying I just want to get back to 28. I want to get back to how my body felt in 28. Something's wrong with my body. Something's wrong with my body. And it's just, I said it to everybody. Everybody in my life knows I've always been like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong? I went from so healthy, and then but anyway, so it never was known that there was mercury in my body. And, that was damaging my heart, damaging my liver. My liver was showing it with the lines between my eyes, and it really has taken a toll on my life to the point where now I do have to go to great measures to bring back health, because I've just basically Mercury, I know we're in this astrology reading, sorry, but it's so important, I had to tell you, because basically I have it out of me now, and that's why you can feel that I feel different. I feel just like my old self. I feel just like the old me that I have not been able to find again for 15 years. And I had no idea that it was because I had the toxic mercury in my mouth, down in my roots, being absorbed through my tissues and just flooding my whole bloodstreams. I think that that's why I had such bad instant health effects from it, because it was in the roots there. But so I wanted to share that with everybody, because I've also been meeting a lot of people now who have a lot of metal in their mouth, and it's damaged their mouth, it's damaged their teeth, which is what it does. So those people don't want to go to the dentist, or they don't want to deal with it, and that kind of stuff. But I can tell you that it needs to be a top shelf priority in your life to get the mercury out. If you do have it in you, you are killing yourself, and you are keeping you away from being you. And I know that if you've been watching me, you can notice a difference in me. And everybody who I'm like, even my blue eyes have come back. I always had the bluest eyes, like shockingly so, and they haven't been for years. And so I noticed that like the first day, it was like, my eyes are back, yay! But I've been on such an amazing high ride now because of it. Just because it feels so great to be, back to me. But I'm going to be doing a video. I'm going to be sharing all this information on how you go about doing it, because when you do pull it out, it gets stirred up. So there are precautionary steps before that you need to take, and then right after there's a mode of how you need to move through it. But I just wanted to do that public service announcement for a couple reasons. But a lot just that, I'm so excited about it. I'm so friggin' excited about it that all I want to do is talk to everybody about, do you have mercury in your mouth? You need to get it out, because I feel that good and that much, more like me, and feeling 15 years like I don't feel like myself. I don't feel confident like myself. I don't feel as sure of myself. I don't feel as beautiful as I did. I don't feel as wonderful as I did. I just suddenly I don't feel sure of myself. I can't date because I don't feel sure of who I am, and I'm not me. And when I fix that and become me, then I can come together with others, So I even see how I've limited my life because of this. But now I have to know, now I know, and now I go forward, and yeah. So anyway, how I want to start this reading for the new moon is I want to talk about the two liver lines that are on between my eyes, and basically what had happened with my acupuncturist, which is great that I have her helping with this detox thing, but she showed me these ways to get rid of it and to soften it, and it's already softer than it was. And the last time I saw her, she was like, girl, she was like, look at how soft you're getting that. What are you doing? Even though she's already told me what to do, which is really simple things, which I could do a video on that too, but I won't get into that. But anyway, so, I told her, because when she said that, she was so shocked by it, and I said, I was able to soften it, and I'm able to change this because you told me I can. And I told her how I just always believed wrinkles, they come, and that's that. And she has just opened me to this whole new thing of like that actually you can just change the pattern of them and they can go away. Like she had them like I do now, but she's 50 now and doesn't have them because she got rid of them. And I told her, because you told me I can, I know I can now. I have 100% faith in myself that I'm going to get rid of these and I'm going to smooth that out and have like that younger, open look again instead of the clenched, eye lines and stressed or whatever, they look like aging, and basically the energy that is happening right now for us is all about changing all those worn out, tired, interpretations that have been put into us that say you can't do that, or if this happens, there's only one end result. There's an opening that's occurring in us that is opening us to, I can do that. I do want to do that. And a lot of the questions that we're having, and the things that are being awakened in us are with, what is it that you would like to do as your soul's purpose to make a living, and where would you really like to live, and how would you really like to live, and what kind of schedule would you really like to have, and what kind of health do you really want to have. And the questions are really coming up in us, and you should all really be feeling too, and if you're not, I'm inviting you to feel that right now. But there is the need to dream and think of things in a very unlimited form, almost like if you could make yourself a child when you think about this, and like what if you could really have anything, and if you didn't have all the fears and limitations that have been put into you, what would you really like to be doing? How would you really like to be living? And we all have these really big questions in us right now, perfectly timed with the energies of the planets, because we're going to have this amazing opportunity with this new moon to really like send our stuff out there and create the biggest kind of change that we couldn't do in like 20 years of work, like overnight kind of things that just boom, skyrocket you into a new space. And so it's really magical, and it's really important that every single one of you are really thinking, it's best not to be in any kind of situation where there's anger, where you're fighting, where you're frustrated, where you're feeling depressed or down. Even if you can just go realize the potential of this gate opening of energy. It's like what we're thinking, if you could imagine that too, what you're thinking, what you're focusing on from like this point for the next 3 days, what you're seeing, what you're imagining, what you're feeling having, what you're just like letting your imagination sail on the wings of like what it feels like to live this thing that is coming to you, that's kind of like a dream. What would it feel like if that was your life, where every day you opened these patio windows with these flowing curtains and the ocean's right there, and you're smelling the air, and and hearing the sound and the fresh, and just whatever you can do to like really take you to what it feels like to live those things, having your own farm, and you're waking up with the early morning and the roosters and dews on things, and it's so quiet and fresh, and and the cows are mooing, and but like whatever it takes for you to really like be in it as much as you can is so important, because what is happening, it's the craziest thing. Some of these things are so hard for me to say because I'm like, okay, but it's almost like there's something outside of the earth that is sending this energy here, but it's almost like right now, let me think of an analogy to make it not so weird. Like right now, over the next several days, there's a stoplight that's always red except for this small window of opportunity of, you know, a couple days in a year, and it happens a couple times a year basically. But it's just that that's the only time the lights are green, so you really want to be there and in your car and good to go. So like right now and for these next 3 days, it's almost like there's a listening device that's happening that's able to read the energy of what we're holding in our bodies, and that is what is going to be manifesting in spades. And I've never ever in my life said that. But so like there's a huge gate opportunity open right now for your dreams to be heard. There we go. That was much simpler. All of that was trying to figure out how to say just that. That's funny. But so yeah, so right now like Santa Claus is getting your list, you know, but it's all about your energy. So that's why I say it's best not to be in the angry, the frustrated, you know, fighting, feeling like a loser, feeling less than. We really need to be as like mature and calm as we can right now, even with like maybe stepping out of the situations that are frustrating you or not working out or not making you happy, and really just kind of knowing my energy is being gauged right now, you know, like my energy is being read right now. I'm sitting in front of a reader right now, and so it's so important that you have these thoughts of being able to do anything, and not only the thought of being able to do anything and really kind of visualizing the life that would be your dreams if you could have whatever you want, but also hold on, like total unplug. That was like a solar flare or something. So you want to be thinking about it. Oh, and then it also has to have the flavor of brand new. You know, it also, there really needs to be a really strong flavor in our body of this excitement to start over. Like imagine that you've been given permission that you get to start over. Like all that stuff from your past, all those things that you don't feel good about, all those things that you consider wrong moves. Like we can have this fresh start reboot of really being able to let go of things even more than ever before in history. So the potential for the energies, the potential for what is out there right now is just straight up dream come true, you know, and I don't know how else to say it, but like this is really special right now. And another part of it that I want to share is how this is another thing where I'm like, it's almost difficult for me to say it because it's so nothing I know anything about and kind of really out there. But one of the things that's happening right now is there are really big, I feel like it's these two parts, but one of them is that our DNA is changing and we are being wired to be people who are more outside of ourselves and compassionate about others. So really like looking out, the whole kind of humanitarian flavor is really being rewired in our genetic structure. Wild. And but it is all to bring us more about peace, bring us more about wanting to help people, bring us more about wanting to bring harmony with others, bring us more into wanting to feel similarities with others instead of always pointing out what is the negative with others. So that is part of it. And then there's another part, and this is where it's so far out for me to see it and say it, but it's something within our brain. And it's something that kind of rules that kind of emotion, I guess, of just open-hearted and wanting to have peace with others and wanting to see commonalities and to be happy and to not be fighting and but always like wanting to almost like bow down, you know, into more of like, we can make this work, you know, or what do I need to do to bring this harmony, you know, thinking those kind of things. But it's something in the brain that like rules that kind of thing, and it's growing larger. So it's changing in our brains, and it's becoming this larger thing that I guess then opens us to naturally exhibiting these characteristics, which is of not getting so mad all the time with others and not wanting to hurt others, and instead being like, how can we heal this world, and how can we heal each other, and how can we go out there and help our brothers and sisters, and you know, even like with that, I know that I'm hearing so much of so many people like doing these surprise buy things for somebody. I mean, I can't believe how often it's happening. Like at Starbucks, someone buys your coffee, someone buys your da-da-da, someone buys your meal at the da-da-da. Like we're just really waking up to, I can just make a difference in this one person's life. And there's something in your heart too that's just telling you, do it. You know, even if you think you don't have enough money to do it, if you even don't think you don't have the time to stand here and talk to this person who you can see needs love and a little bit of attention, you know, you're instead like, I can make the time. I can do this. And yeah, I even noticed it in stores where I did have all these things I needed to do and da-da-da and da-da-da, but I would still like, you know, when I was connecting with another soul and just happened to bump into them in space and time, like I was just being so much more open to almost like, you can have me as long as you need me, you know, like standing there and talking and just knowing that I don't get to walk away until we stop talking, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I have to go. Can we cut this short? Can we plan this again? Or oh my God, you know, or feeling frustrated. It was still just this more like, okay, I've been brought to this person on this path at this particular moment, so I'm going to, you know, stop and talk and give what I need to give, and then I'll go on. So you're going to start noticing those kind of more like relaxed kind of feelings with things, and just like it's just much more chill. And I almost feel like too, this energy is coming in because it's so far out to me. I mean, like you guys are going to feel like shifts that are like night and day. It's that much like, oh my gosh, things are changing. Oh my gosh, things right now are changing. And I see how it's so much in alignment with that North Node moving into moving into Libra. Like that is what is just ushering up this thing that is interactions with others that are just much more peace related and, you know, love related. And you know how, like, you know, if you meet someone and you think about like you're just somewhere and you meet someone who you know their family, or you know their father, or you know their daughter, and like instantly you're like, oh my gosh, hi, oh, it's so great to meet you. And you know, you're so open to them, and you're so open to like, I love you, I think you're such a great person, you know, even though you don't know them at all. They're just like any other stranger on the street, but because you had this little linking thing, if you know someone they know, oh, we can be friends now, this is great. And if you just imagine us having that with everybody, you know, imagining that we all do come from the same you know, mother and father, you know, we are all connected somehow. So just kind of like feeling that and resonating with that, combined with how we are, you know, from the leaving the Scorpio, have really left a lot of that judgment, or the separateness of judgment, where you're not okay, I'm okay, something's wrong with you and not with me. You know, that thing that's like cut and dry, that thing that's like no gray. Leaving that, I almost feel like we've done a lot of work and like a lot of good things with, you know, the past months of facing these more dark things, facing these more fighty things, facing like these situations that came into our life as a way to test us again, to see how do we interact with others. Is it just broken and you walk away and that's that? Or is there this like love of wanting to heal it and wanting to understand, even if you do have to walk away, but at least having that like an okay walk away, like this is how it sometimes has to go. We go in and out of people's lives. So we're just kind of moving into that much more mature way of dealing with that. And that's what the past several months has really been about for you. With kind of feeling a lot of really uncomfortable situations, a lot of really short trigger, anger, pissed off, you know, kind of stuff. And And each one of those was this really beautiful opportunity for us to look within, to see ourselves in it, because it's every single argument or every single judgment, every single one of them. This is a big thing I've realized, is part of both parties every time. Every single time. It's not 100% one other person. It's never that way. If it was, that other person who was the 0% wouldn't have gotten triggered or wouldn't have been able to mishandle the situation so that it did erupt. So it's always something that's triggering something in us, awakening something in us, opening something in us, wanting to say, look closer at this, look closer at this, I'm giving you friction, I'm giving you pain, look closer at this, even with that, like everything in our lives is going to be so much more a feeling barometer like that, where it's like, ooh, I'm starting to get a headache. This means something, maybe you need to start doing something different right now with your day. Maybe don't sit in front of the computer now. Maybe go for a hike now. So everything is like that. Discomfort is always having these really big signs. We're not supposed to just ignore it. We really are supposed to go, what's this about? What does this mean to me? Why did this happen? What can I do to heal it? And that's the new thought that is birthing in our brains right now. And with this DNA changing thing, is that now we do say, how can I heal this? How can I bring this into right action? How can I bow down to come to the middle ground and meet this other person so that we can have harmony? And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. This is what we want. This is a huge step in really birthing the flavor of this new earth energy really out there, and to all the people, so that we're really warriors and warrioresses out there walking this, so that our vibration can ripple out and affect others through examples, through being an example. Because people will start getting things from you, whether they just walk into your aura. Which that's another thing too. I tell, if you have Mercury, like I can't believe how tuned in now I am. It's like, it's gone like 500%. It's gone like 500%. It's like that far out. But that's another thing. Mercury makes you hard and it's brittle. And it's not going to allow you to live your soul's purpose in its truest form if you do have Mercury in your body. That's another reason I say, like, anybody who does have it, use this new moon wishes to manifest the money, get a dental insurance discount card or whatever, or just see the money coming to you to get it done, because that one is affecting so much in your life that you're not really going to be able to manifest your dream life in its truest form if there's something like that going on. That kind of too foreign substance in the body. So yeah. And I also, oh, you know what? It's going to, see, I'm still 27. I did do written horoscopes, and those are down below, and those are way kick-ass. I guess I think I just really want this to be a brief, just kind of an example of how you need to keep your energy right now, with really just dreaming that everything is possible, not putting any kind of limitations, and really, but also really, and you've already been doing this, but really going to the heart of the matter of your soul, of like, what do I really want to do, and not to think, oh, everybody's doing that, I can't do that, but what do you like really, really, and and it makes me think of, I remember, people would always say that I should be a life coach, or they would say life coach right when the word life coach was coming out in the world, and I was like, life coach, and I realized that's what I do. I'm not really doing it one-on-one yet. I like to do all you, or a whole class. I like the group sharing life skills, So, and someone, I remember it was just at that point where people were like, oh, sell certifications, it was like this brand new job. It feels like the late 90s or early 2000. And then it's like all of a sudden all these people offer certifications to do this. And I was talking to this woman, this friend of mine, and I was saying, yeah, and I was like, I wonder about life coach, but you have to get certified, and and I don't have the money for that. And she was like, you're certified by God. And I remember her just coming out with it like that. And I remember I've used that line on a lot of people now because I get that. What is that thing that you're so good at, that's like second nature to you, that you just love to do and that feeds you? What is it that you want to do that has those components to it? You need to do it, and you need to start envisioning that you can do it, not have to be like, wait, I have to get certified first. You have all the wisdom. You have, whatever that thing is that is yours to give. I mean, granted, if it's something like nursing, which I'm really hoping that a lot of people come into the nursing world. I'm really excited about nursing energy right now. I wonder why. But that's a great thing for people to be in these times now. But for the most part, so many jobs, like, you have the skill already. You have the gift already. That's something that we keep us from manifesting our dreams. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough training. I don't have enough. I mean, I was doing that for 14 years before I finally launched my business and was just like, let me just do this and see if I can do it. Let me just believe in myself and we'll see if this works out. So remember that, that you very well may be holding down your dreams with the way you're thinking and with what you are really believing is possible. And if you could just almost imagine like this magic, boom, like, you're skilled, you got it, you can do it, just kind of like really kind of hold that dream in your heart for the next several days, like really just kind of seeing yourself, I want to do this, I want to do that, and even if it does mean now you have to embark on another decade of education or whatever, really start taking those first steps now and really kind of see yourself living the life that you dream of living. And outside of all limitations, outside of all money woes and I don't have enough money, outside of all, but I've been through so much violation and pain, outside of all, but I'm a single mom with kids, outside of it all, don't give any of the things that hold you back from having it any consideration right now. Just see everything as, we'll deal with it. I'll take care of that when it comes. I don't need to worry about this, especially now in these days right now. I don't need to worry about this is a really good motto to have, because you want to just be like, I can do this. I want this to happen. I'm going to see this happening. I'm just going to dream that it can happen. I don't know what the ways are that have to come together to bring it into my life. I'm going to surrender to spirit with that one. I'm going to allow that. I'm just going to believe that miracles happen. And, maybe someone will show up with $5,000 and put a check on my front seat, and who knows, we have no idea what's 3 days away in our life. We have no idea what surprises are around the corner for us. But what is such a wise and smart way to be is always envisioning that something is really good coming. Something is really good coming. Something is really good, and it's on the way, and I can feel it like that. You can feel it in energy. It's like, I'm feeling that. Even if you can't really figure out what exactly you want to be doing, hold that space over the next couple days, because things are all about revolutionary change, just boom, out of the blue. And the potential for there to be as much devastation is equal for the potential for there to be as much magic. And that's kind of my big point, big reason on why it's really important to be in the hope, and be in the magic and be in the dreaming, and just really like wish good things, even like wish good things on others, during this energy too. Think about other people that you would love to see have really amazing things happen, and think about how you would love to give back your own bounty or whatever, just whatever you can do to be like in the humanitarian mind, but the Sagittarian mind too, of very hopeful and shooting that arrow way out there, like way out. Go for it. You know, why not? Why limit yourself? So I think I'm going to stop there. And please read the article down below. And just know in your heart that you are changing, and so much of the darkness and the pain and the things that you're saying that are bad about you and never good enough about you are really wanting to leave in almost effortless ways, as we can't really focus on the past bad too much anymore. I mean, it's finally like we need to take what we experienced and we need to make the best of it and dedicate that we will learn from it, and I will do everything in my power to never do that again, just so that we can really, like, you know, move forward and not have that heavy weight with us, because our energy is being gauged, and that stuff isn't serving us if it's holding us back from living our dream. You know, it is serving us if we are taking the wisdom of it and applying it to our dream soul's work, you know. And that's a lot of the reasons why a lot of people have the dark and the pain and the limitation, is because the healing of that is what they end up giving to the world. So that journey is a necessity. But right now, the ability to really heal and shift and move and transform your lives in the hugest boom ways is really being controlled by our thoughts and what we're believing is possible. I would say if you just found out you got cancer, know that you're going to heal it. Know that you're going to figure out what things to do with your diet, with acupuncture, with herbs, with resting, whatever, with thought processes, that you're going to know, like, what it takes to heal it. Like, that's how powerful the energy is. And it's also because it coincides with this other thing going on with our DNA and with this thing that's in our brain, which I could show you where it's at. It's in, I don't know if I can figure it out that way, but it's inside the brain and it's almost to the center, but it's a little to the left and it's getting bigger because of other things that are going on that we can't even imagine right now. So time is special right now, and just know that, and be really positive and clear about what you'd like to manifest right now and how you would like to start over and do this right this time. Okay, so that's going to be that, and you have a beautiful new moon. Please go read the horoscopes down below, and I will see you in a couple weeks with the full moon. And I'll probably even see you sooner if I work on my Mercury video, because I'll let you all know that. Okay.